Okay. There we go. Good morning, everybody. I hope that you can hear me. Hey, Goddess, can you hear me? Can you just type in a yes or a no or a heart or something? Awesome. Thank you. Good morning, everybody. How are you? It's Robin Link. Give me a sec. I have to grab a sip of my tea so we can do our energy forecast today. Okay. This is crazy. I don't normally my voice doesn't get this bad, but it seems like this year it is. Hey, sassafras. So good morning and welcome, my beautiful friends, to this week's energy forecast. The energy is the forecast is for what is today, May 12th, May 11th. I think I got it wrong. May 11th to whatever the heck 6 days is from now. It's one of those mornings, boy. Let's just get right into the forecast, and we'll talk about who I am and what I am later. Okay, so here's the theme of the week. It's the Angel of Romance. So bunch of stuff going on with that and a whole bunch of interesting things. Part of why my voice is like this has to do with a really huge change that I'm making in my business, and frankly, it's scaring the hell out of me. Yeah, oh boy. And it absolutely has to do with romance. So for you guys, romance, it's on both levels here, okay? It's on the literal level and the figurative level. Let me deal with the figurative first, only because there's more to talk about on the literal level. On the figurative level, we're talking about kind of finding our passion and finding our romance in life and with life again. Okay, and just getting back into that space of loving life and loving what goes on in life. You know, even if we don't like it, just, loving it. And I don't necessarily mean from, things might get a little loud, let me just tell you, because I'm doing this at the same time David's got to get ready for work. So, but, it's that piece where you want to just enjoy being here on this planet again. And that's not easy for a lot of people. It's not easy for a lot of us in the United States, especially with the state of our political affairs right now, which I'm not going to get into. But it does sometimes make it a little more difficult to remember how to love life. Yeah, to love life and to just love being here on this planet and to love that we're human, And just real quick, as far as being human, I want to just remind you guys of something that I remind others. A lot of us don't feel like we belong here in this human body, and we don't know why we're here in this human body, and we don't know what the hell to do with it. And when we're in meditation, when we're in that spiritual space, things are so much easier, and it's easier to love thy enemy, and it's easy to forgive people and all that kind of stuff. So I just want to remind you of two reasons why being human ain't so bad, okay? Number one is ice cream. When you are in the spiritual form, you don't get to eat ice cream. You don't get to eat pizza. You don't get to do that. That's right there. To me, that's enough to stay being human. But you want to know what the other one is? The other one is sex. Because seriously, good morning, because spirits don't have sex. Well, some spirits do, but not really, That's a whole other conversation. But yeah, spirits don't have orgasms. I'm sorry. It's, it's the fact of the matter. I am cracking up at the number of hearts coming through as I'm sitting here talking about ice cream, sex, and orgasms, okay? Seriously. Being human, it ain't so bad. So to just get reattached to that ability to find the romance in life and to accept that you're human and be cool with it and enjoy it. Think about all those wonderful things. You know, some of you guys on here are moms. Some who are going to be watching are dads. We don't have children. We don't get to experience that love. Excuse me. And pets. How many of you love animals? You know, when you're in spirit form, everything is the same. And it's not a bad thing, but it's just all the same. And when we're in human form, we get to experience, we get to experience things differently. In a long minute. I'm not even going to call you out on that for the replay. Sorry, I just don't want to keep talking. Okay. So, anyway, back to where we're going. So we've got it, you know, human, we got the animals, we have got orgasms, we've got sex, we've got, you know, kissing that special guy or that special girl, even one night stands. I mean, come on. It's all exciting, and it really does. There's some really phenomenal stuff. And then don't forget the ice cream and the pizza, right? Oh, and margaritas. So now that you know everything that I love, which I'm not eating right now, but whatever, let's get on to the other piece of romance, okay? So, people, this week is about getting real in the romance department, okay? So, for those of you who are screwing around in relationships that aren't working for you, for those of you who are whining because you want a relationship and you keep pushing them away, for those of you who want a relationship but you don't know who or what you want, this is the week to get real about it. Got it? So, excuse me, if you're in a shitty relationship, things are going to get worse. Bottom line. And let me tell you something. Alexander, I do love Jesus. So, yeah, I do. Lost my train of thought. So here's the thing. So the relationships that are crappy, they're just going to get worse. Okay? They're just going to get worse. And why are they going to get worse? They're going to get worse because you're not here to suffer. Your soul doesn't want to suffer. It does remember what being perfect is. And the problem is your head is now also kind of, we'll say, fighting with itself and with your soul. Okay? Because it remembers that even though you don't maybe like being on your own, you can survive being on your own. But it also knows that you can survive the crap that you're going through right now. So you have this dual belief system going on in your conscious mind. And remember, the conscious mind, its job is to keep you alive. And it's to help you remember that, and it's to help you remember that this incident, you survived it before, you can stay alive. This incident, you survived it before, you're still here, you're alive. In my job is to keep you alive. It's not to keep you thriving. Your heart, your soul, that's what helps you thrive. Problem is, we disconnect. It's funny because it's this crazy thing, right? It's like we don't want to be here in human form, so we like to disconnect and go into soul form and meditate and prayer and all that kind of stuff. And then what happens is the shit hits the fan and it's like, oh no, now we're going to forget all about that because I was out there and things were good, but it didn't fix what's happening here. So it must not be working. You got to learn how to get them to work together. So it's like, all right, brain, look, I know I've survived being alone, and I know I've survived being in crappy relationships. Let's try something new. Soul is telling us, our divine selves are telling us we can be happy. And we can be happy in a relationship, we can be happy out of a relationship, but we can be in a relationship with ourselves, with a lover, with money, with my cup of tea. We could be in a relationship with any of that and thrive, right? So you're just going to continue to give your brain new opportunities and new remembrances of what it was and is to thrive and feel good in relationship, in romance, right? And you know what? Maybe, let's go back to sex for a minute. Maybe you had a great night of sex with somebody. Okay, I'm going to say a guy, just it's easier for me to say, because that's where I fly, okay? So you had a great night of sex with a guy. You had a phenomenal orgasm, and it was the first freaking orgasm you've had in years. It was awesome. But it was a one-night stand. And now what happens is the next day, though, you're like, oh my God, that sex was phenomenal. And now I'm never going to hear from him again. I'm not even sure I really like him. Still waiting on that. I'm not even sure I can talk to you about that. I'm not even sure I really like him, but oh my God, that was like the most amazing, mind-blowing sex I ever had. What am I going to do? I'm never going to have it again. I'm never going to see him again. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. Yeah, been there. Yeah, been there, done that, wrote the book, got the t-shirt, right? Here's the thing. When you start getting in on all that, I'm never going to see him again. When am I going to have another orgasm like that again? And all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I'll have some of that. You completely discounted the experience that you had. Okay? You completely discounted the amazing human physical experience that you had. Because now you're just focusing on, what am I going to do? I'm never going to have it again. I'm never going to see this guy again. I'm never going to have this kind of experience again. Nobody else is ever going to give it to me. So guess what happens? You're either, in order to survive, going to never create a phenomenal sexual experience again, or you're going to create all these one-night stands that, well, okay, the body is fulfilled, but the heart and the soul aren't. Or you're just going to step away from it all because it's just too freaking painful to do it. And all these neural pathways are getting created in your brain at the same time. Is that making sense? Because I'm not fully, okay, cool. It's just, I keep, because I have to keep drinking the tea, it's throwing me off a little. Okay, cool. So, how are you going to get connected with this again? Pulling things out of my head. I'm always pulling things out of your head. I love you too, sweetie. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I love this. People watching this on YouTube, this is what you miss. This is why I like doing the Periscope, because people come in and they're responding in real time, and that just doesn't show up on the YouTube. So anyway, what's going to help support you finding more of what you actually want, okay? Number one is you got to get clarity. You have got to get clarity. And I want to, before I even get to this card, I want you to understand something. You get clarity, but that doesn't mean it's solidified. Okay? You're going to get clarity. You're going to make a decision, and a firm decision, right? And the reason I want you to, it's a firm decision, but it's not malleable, but it's malleable. And the reason you want to make a firm decision is because that's what helps you make your commitment, to know the direction that you're going to travel in. Okay? Then what you're going to do is you are going to listen to your intuition. You are not going to sit there and ignore the signs. You're going to listen to that intuition. And instead of being friggin' stubborn because this is the direction you're going in, you made that firm decision, you made that commitment, instead of ignoring your intuition so that you don't course correct, you're going to listen to that intuition and you're going to make the damn course corrections. Okay? And so you're going to go into that one night stand with the awareness that you just want some good sex that night. Or, I don't know if I can do this. I get attached to these guys and then I get hurt. Maybe I should make a different choice. Right? So, this is the deal here. You guys all have the information at hand. It's at your fingertips. It's in your heart. You know, you don't need me as a psychic or anybody else as a psychic to tell you what to do. You don't need any of us to tell you what to do. You just got to trust that the information you're hearing is giving you or is showing up for a reason. You ever have one of those situations? I don't know how many times I've heard this story. People were going to get on a plane. They were going on vacation. They've been planning the vacation for I don't know how long. And they get to the airport and they're about to get on the plane, and something tells them not to do it. And so they reschedule for the next flight. Right? And then you find out that the airplane that you were going to get on crashed. Imagine if you didn't listen. So that's an extreme example of what your intuition, that higher knowing, and as Alexandra's reminding us, the Holy Spirit, I do believe in the divinity, you know that, right? And that's an example of you being divinely guided by whoever or whatever you want to call it, okay? You don't have to use the same words I do. But that's your intuition. And it's there to help you. So don't ignore it if it doesn't make sense. And especially in terms of romance. Because you've been there, you've done that, you've been with the same type of guy with a different face, different clothes, different job, different name, over and over and over and over again. Yes, you can survive it, but are you actually thriving? So, and over, yeah. And so, what is the energy that's going to be getting in your way? Well, no surprise here, confusion, right? And I really want to give you the last one too, because the ahas are in the moments of clarity. So check this out. You know, we're talking about romance, right? So whether it's with a person or a situation or something like that, but this week it's for most of you, we are talking about love relationships, right? You gotta pay attention to the intuition. Why? Because you're freaking confused. You're confused based on all the other past relationships. And this is the week to get clarity. Let your intuition bring you clarity, even if it doesn't make sense. And I know that doesn't make sense, right? But it's like, even if what it's suggesting you do doesn't make sense. You know, women, how many of you have been with a guy And you know within every ounce of your being that he's stepping out on you. You know this. You can't find proof of it, but you know it. How many times have you been proven right? I'm not talking about the fear kind, oh, I wonder if he's seeing somebody, blah, blah, blah. No, I'm talking about that gut-punching, heart-wrenching knowing. And then you ignored it. Time to stop ignoring. Time to stop ignoring what you already know. And I'm going to tell you something which pertains to this and everything in life. And I was reminded of this actually last night. One of my clients is having a really hard time making a life change. Huge hard time. And she's been going through this for years. Years. It's one of the most scary things for her to change. Here's the deal. She's not going to change it, and you're not going to change how you handle relationships until you decide the cost of not changing no longer outweighs the cost of changing. That's why you don't make the changes. Because you fear the cost of changing is higher than the cost of not changing. Why is that? How does that happen? Because you know how to survive the situation you're in now. Your brain does not know if it can survive what you'd like to change to. When the cost of staying where you are outweighs the cost of changing, you will never, that's when you will change. Let me say it again because I'm getting brain fog. When the cost of staying where you are is higher than the cost of change, you will make the change. So how do you lessen the fear? You're at the point of feeling indifferent about changing, about staying still or changing. That's your head playing jokes on you, playing tricks on you. You're indifferent about staying where you are versus changing. It's your head playing tricks on you. Because what it's saying to you is you can't change. Stay here. It wants you to believe that you can't change, that the change isn't going to make a difference. So why bother? Just stay here. It's a really good survival mechanism for it. Keeps you right there, right stuck. Makes you feel like shit about yourself so that you don't trust yourself, that you can make the change, the whole 9 yards. So what do? You just have to keep providing your brain with candy and examples of how you've made changes in your life and you've survived. Remember, the brain doesn't need to thrive, right? So you can turn around and you can tell it, well, you know what? We did this instead of that. No, it didn't work out. But guess what? We're still here. So why not try this? And then how many times did you try something different? And it was like, pew, and created phenomenal experiences. Well, hey, brain, guess what? Remember when we tried A, B, C, and D? And remember what happened? Remember how cool that was? And what about the last time? And what about this time? And what about this time? So it's literally consistently bringing those experiences to the forefront of your mind so that you just keep creating new synapses and new neural pathways, right? So that the brain has more consistent experiences of the positive. And the other thing is the brain is easily fooled, right? So if you go back and just hang out in a memory of times when you've made huge changes that turned out really phenomenal for you, when you sit in that memory, again, you're giving the brain more opportunity to create the neural pathways that, oh, change can be good, right? And change can feel good. And you can change your physiology too. Like, this is also a really good way to fool your thinking brain. You know, when you're scared or you're nervous and let's say you're not sure, you know, again, about making a decision. Well, you know, so normally you'll sit there and you're like, oh, here I go again, right? I mean, you should have seen me the other night when I just made a huge decision. And that was what I was doing. I was like, oh my God. And tears and everything else and blah, 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 blah. I could have made it easier on myself because I could have stepped into the energy of what I knew was possible and sat up, right? And I could have smiled and I could have stepped into that, the energy of progress, of doing something new, of the excitement of trying something different. And in doing that, I'm now recreating in the moment more possibilities and cutting off the neural pathways to the, oh my God, this is a life or death thing. Most of the time it's not life or death, right? I mean, most of the time it's not. So here we go, really long forecast again this week, but we know there's so much more than a forecast. So romance, right? Get back in love with life. Get back in love with yourself. And really open your eyes to your current romantic situation. What needs to change? What do you like? And when I talk about change, don't forget, it can be something that's good already. How can I make it better? And can I make it better? Can it be better? Listen to your intuition. Stop arguing with it. You want to hear a really funny story? This is hysterical. Yesterday, somebody came into the office and she brought me a gift. And I'm talking to her. And I see a text from David. I can't even. And it just, I just saw it flash on the screen and it's just the words. And in my head, I'm like, oh, I know what this is. He's sending me a picture of him. And it's not meant for people. It's not meant for public consumption. And instead of waiting to look at it like I knew I should have, I open up the text and there he is in all his glory. And I started turning so freaking red. Yeah, it was hysterical. 8 years together and we still play these games. And it's been years since he sent me one of these. And I was just cracking up and turning. Look, I'm turning red now, and I'm just thinking about it. It was so much fun. It was so funny. But the thing is, I ignored my intuition, right? I knew exactly what it was. He didn't say anything bad or whatever. He was just like, just because I'm silly and I love you. That's it. That's all that was there. So that is not a situation where it's like horrible ignoring your intuition, right? My friend was on the other side and she couldn't see it and whatnot, but I just knew not to open it right then and there. And I did anyway, and it didn't turn out poorly. But the thing is, it was just another example of, oh, Robin, let's ignore my intuition. Let's create a new neural pathway in there that says I can ignore my intuition and survive. Right? You don't have to create those moments, as funny as they can be. You don't have to do that. When you pay attention to your intuition and let go of the confusion that you have because your human mind doesn't understand why you're being given that direction, you will have all the clarity that you need to continue moving forward and have romance in all areas of your life, especially when it comes to attracting and finding your life partner. That is it today, my beautiful friends. Thanks for putting up with me and allowing my throat to kind of come back to normal so I can do my phone calls and everything else today. I'm Robin Link. Find me at robinlink.com, ROBINLINKE.com. And please join our Facebook group, Spiritual Perfectionists Anonymous. We have a great time in there supporting each other as we try to let go of all our perfectionist tendencies and just live life as the best way that we can. See y'all next week. Thank you for being here. I love you.